It should be.
Hi guys.
So I'm
What does
Mike,
that
as
mean
most
to
of
it
you
now?
know.
You can't.
This is
Mike.
my great friend Mohammed, our great friend Mohammed.
Can't hear you very well.
So I'm Mike, as most of you know. This is our great friend Mohammed, who introduced us to Morocco all those years ago. So he has a lot to answer for. This evening we're raising money for Henna Cafe Soup Kitchen. It costs us about 50p, 40 or 50p to provide a meal over there. So we've raised raised money for literally hundreds of meals. So that's all good news. And anybody who hasn't asked for it yet, please drop us a direct message with your address, and we'll send you a copy of our cookbook. And with that, over to Mo. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Well, we just started, so yeah. For the one, we're gonna start with the soup called harira, which is a complete Moroccan soup, which most of the time they have it only with bread, and that is a meal itself. But here we're having it as a starter. So we're gonna use it as a starter, and it's gonna be followed with tagine. So everybody voted for vegetable tagine. So I am doing two actually, which is one vegetable and one chicken. So that's extra, a little bit of surprise. And the pudding is gonna be a filo pastry with the almond, ground almond. So we'll start with the harira, which is the soup, and of course you need the celery, as we said, celery and onions to start with, and the garlic. So our celery, as you always do, it has to be washed. And once it's washed, it has to be cut roughly. You do not need to cut it small or anything, because we're gonna liquidize the soup halfway before we start putting lentils and chickpeas. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna chop our celery. I'm chopping more than what I should, but because there is 6 or 8 people who are gonna eat this. So if you're doing only for 4 or 5 people, half celery will do. So it might be 5 or 6 roots. As you've seen, I chopped it roughly, so it doesn't have to be really small. Or, as I said, it's going to be liquidized later on. So here we go. Our celery in. It will be followed by onions, which is I cut earlier. But if you didn't cut it, you just can cut it roughly. You can cut it roughly. It doesn't have to be thin, because you're going to use a blender later on. I use this one instead of blender. I use this one. So what we do, we got that. I got garlic, which is I'm going to put 3 garlics like that without cutting them. I'll have it a bit, I have the power on maximum, so it's can, because this soup actually takes quite time, but I'm doing it in a way which is most chefs will do it, but it takes less the time they do back home, because they do everything fresh, everything to the letter. So it takes a couple of hours to do it. But here is not going to take us that much. I can so I'll put in it a bit of paprika, smoked paprika. I'll use a bit of turmeric. I'll use saffron, which is, you don't have to use saffron. You do not have to use saffron, but I use saffron in most of my Moroccan cooking because it's healthy. It's good for you anyway. So just a little bit will do. I use cumin, a half spoon of cumin, and just a bit of cinnamon. Like that. So
got a question from Gary.
Yeah.
Do we use oil here?
We use a little bit of olive oil or rapeseed oil. If you don't want to use oil, you don't have to. But I use a drop of oil. So yeah, yeah.
You say if anybody has questions,
yeah. Please, if anyone has any questions, please you can put it on the chat. So we'll answer every single question. I'll put a bit of salt. So I use sea salt. Any salt will do, just a bit. So too much salt is no good. Some pepper. And a tin of tomato. It could be chopped tomato or plum tomato, or if you have fresh tomato, you can put fresh tomato, because it's actually based on tomato more than anything. And it's because it's Mediterranean, so it's a bit close to the minestrone, the Italian soup. So it's not, you will see the resemblance in it, except this one has different spices than the minestrone. So once that is done, we're gonna fill it up with water, and we're gonna leave it to cook for good 15-20 minutes. And after that, we'll liquidize it and we'll put other stuff in it. So yeah, I'll go and get the water. Is the fire still on? Yeah, I have to watch that one. That's it. I will close. I have some stock here, vegetable stock, which is I will put in. As you see, I already mixed the stock with some water and herbs, which is parsley and coriander. So I'll put some stock in there, which I will use for everything. This kind of stock, I'll use it for everything.
So we have a question. How much water did you add?
If you're cooking for 6, it depends. This pot will give us 8 people. So if you're cooking for 6 or 4, you'll put 1 liter of water, and you watch it towards the end. If it's too thick, when the soup, just 5 minutes before serving it, if it's too thick, you'll add a little bit of boiling water. So it's always towards the end, because there's other ingredients will go in it, which will make it thicker. I might need to put more water later on, who knows? So now we leave that one to cook, and we're gonna start on a tagine. Tagine is a dish which it does look after itself. Once you put it together, once you put it all together, you put it on the charcoal and you forget about it, and it will cook within 20 to 25 minutes. So we said we're gonna do a vegetable tagine. So the vegetable tagine, the tagine normally, even though we put oil, it does stick on the bottom. So what we do, we make a bed of either potato or tomato and onion. So we got onions like this. We'll cut it round. And we'll make it as a bed. So this, it will stick on the bottom, but it doesn't, that's how it is. Some tomato, because the oil will give give a bit of sauce.
Can you just remind us, Mo, what has gone into the soup so far?
Celery, garlic, onion, the spices, which is smoked paprika, turmeric, cumin, and cinnamon, salt and pepper, of course, and I made tomato, and I made stock, vegetable stock to go with it. So this is the way we make bed for the tagine. Now I'm gonna cut the vegetables, which will go in the tagine. So I'll start with carrots. Carrots, what they do to it to cook quickly, they take the inside, which they call it the heart. So normally in England we cook with the whole carrot. Here they take the heart, this one. So you can keep this one. You can use it for any other thing, such as a crudity, for example. If you're eating hummus, you can dip with this one. But carrots, when it's like that, it does cook quick. So we'll do the carrot that way, and it's easy. It's simple. You cut your knife like this. Because if I didn't have to cut it like this to take the inside, it means that the carrots will be cooked. It takes longer to be cooked more than the courgettes or any other vegetables. I said vegetables when I sent the list. I said vegetables, carrots and courgette, but you can actually put any vegetable you like. Sometimes in the season, I like asparagus. I put asparagus in a tagine, even though Moroccan tagine doesn't have asparagus, but vegetable is vegetables. So if you like vegetables, you can put any vegetables in it. So
Bob is observing that not everybody could do that with a knife.
It's simple. If I can do it, you can. So this is the carrot, and what we do actually, we're making it look like what the Moroccan do to the tagine, because the tagine is not a tagine unless it's decorated the way it's standing like that. Because the tagine is like a pyramid. So when the vegetables stand there like that, the steam and all that, it cooks properly. So I'm gonna put in it courgette, which is cut it half. You know, I cut the courgette long in half, and I cut it in half this way. So it's gonna go in the tagine. Okay, so I'm gonna put green peppers in it. So what we're doing, we're looking for colors, and we're looking for vegetables who cooks quick as well. So let's so we build them, as I said, as a pyramid. We're gonna add the aubergine, which it will be the same cuts.
Okay, so can you just remind me what vegetables you put in the tagine now?
We started with we made the bed with tomato and onions. We covered the bed, tomato and onions, and after that we put carrots. After taking what we call the heart, which is the inside, and I followed with courgettes, pepper, which is here I put yellow pepper and green pepper for colors, and I followed with aubergine. So everything is cut this size, so it can cook quickly.
Did you put any oil in the
Not yet.
No oil.
No oil yet. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna. We know that vegetables, when you cook it, always reduce water. So this tagine, we're gonna put the stock in it and a bit of, just a drop of water. Olive oil, we'll leave it until the end, just before serving, and we'll put a drop of olive oil on the top. So the stock. Of course, and I'm gonna have a little bit of water to mix the spices. So the spices are ras al hanout. So as we said, we have to have ras al hanout. Oh, I didn't bring it. I left it inside. I'll bring ras al hanout. Ras al hanout is when we talk. Sorry, I'll just when we talk about, let's say an example. When we talk about the what make a Chinese, the main thing in Chinese spices are Chinese spices, the 5 Chinese spices. That's the main thing of cooking Chinese food. If we go to India, the main thing of cooking Indian curry is curry, which is made from different blend of spices. When you go to Morocco, there is ras al hanout. Ras al hanout vary from place to place or region to region. So some places they do 7 spices in it, which is maybe black pepper, cumin, coriander, turmeric, saffron, cinnamon, ginger. That's 7 vegetables, 7 spices. But other places, they add chili. They add to it chili, for example. They add to it other ingredients. So where the main known one is 7 spices, and we call it ras hanout. So this is the way I do it. I mix my spices in with boiling water. I'll put them in. I don't have it. If I put stock, I don't have to put salt. So I can put pepper in this, but no salt. Is that still on? Yeah, thanks. Okay. Our tagine is done. This is how it is. And tagine is one of the dishes which is, once it's done like that, you close it and put it on a charcoal, and it looks after itself. That's it. I don't need to do anything to it. I might have to check later on if it needs a little bit of water, but I don't think so. So we're gonna put it on the charcoal, and we'll come back to do the.
Should I try and move the camera?
Either you move the camera or you want to see. Okay. I don't. Yeah. So yeah. There we go. We're gonna put it on the charcoal and leave it to cook. That's it. No, we're back. Before we finish,
if you don't have a charcoal, how do you?
you can do it on the stove, on the low heat on the stove. Many times I cooked tagine on the stove. Oh, you can cook it in the oven. You know that. You put it inside the oven. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna do the chicken before I come back to the soup.
boat.
Yeah.
You've got a question. How much ras al hanout did you put in the water that you put on top of the vegetable tagine?
2 spoons.
Teaspoons?
Teaspoons. 2 teaspoons. And of course, it doesn't have salt because the stock is already salty. So we're reducing the salt. For the chicken tagine, I've got this one, which is a bit bigger. For the chicken tagine, I already marinated my chicken in ras al hanout. I put ras al hanout in it with a little bit of olive oil, and I squeezed 2 lemon in it, mixed it all together, and it was in the fridge for 2 hours. This is not something which is you have to do now, but maybe in the future. So
okay. Going back to the vegetable tagine, how much water and how much?
I put the water. I put maybe 100 milliliter in that size of tagine, and 2 spoons of ras al hanout. As I said, always you need the bed for when you're doing the tagine. So for the chicken one, I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna use onions as a bed, and the tomato, because tomato release water and it make it look like tomato sauce as well. So that's it. And for the chicken is the same thing as the vegetables. So we're gonna put the chicken and we'll put it on the bed of onions and tomato. And once we do the chicken, we're gonna do the same thing, a little bit of water, and we're gonna put the stock. And because we're cooking it with potatoes, so we're gonna cut the potato a little bit bigger to be cooked at the same time with the chicken. So for the chicken, you can buy your whole chicken and cut it yourself. So I got here chicken thighs, which it was easy. I just got them from supermarket and marinate them, so it saved me the hassle of cutting them. But if you got a leg of chicken, you have to cut it in 2. This is too much. I'm not gonna cook all that. So we've done that one. And I will cut some potato, which is I'm gonna leave with the skin anyway. I like you don't need to peel it. If I cut it in 4, the potato actually does go well with the chicken. Plus, it does make the sauce thick a little bit. Okay, so the stock, I'm gonna add a little bit of the stock, put it in here, and I'll add to it water. That's it. So that is the chicken tagine. So all it's gonna need towards the end when it's cooked, you will need a bit of olives and you eat it with bread. So we're gonna close this one and we'll leave it to cook. We'll take this one. Okay, what's that?
No, did you put stock in the vegetable tagine?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Just to, because people are catching up. So if you could just talk through and summarize what went in the vegetable tagine,
yeah,
what went in the chicken.
Okay. Well, when we did the vegetable tagine, we, as I said, the tagine does really most of the time stick in the bottom because the way it's made from clay and it's cooked on a charcoal. But whatever you do, you cook it in the oven or cook it on the stove. It doesn't matter. So to avoid that burning directly, you make a bed from onions. Some people put potato, they slice potato and put it. You put it, I put it. I find using onions and tomato turn into a sauce. So I'll make the bed from tomato and onion, and I build the tagine in a way which is a bit like a pyramid. So you go up with your carrots, and of course I showed you how I took the inside of the carrot to make it easy to cook quickly because all the vegetables are gonna go in one go and be cooked. So so if we take the carrots, we take the inside of the carrots the same way as I did here. So that's the carrots. When I peel it and cut it in half, I'll take the inside. See, we call it in Morocco the heart. So we take the heart of the carrots like that. That we don't have to throw it away. We can use it as a crudité. So I'll do it again. We use it as a crudité. We use it in a salad or in soup. Who knows? So that's it. Easy, simple. And we build the tagine as a pyramid. So we'll put the carrots, we'll put the courgette, we'll put the peppers, mixed peppers, and we put the aubergine. This is the vegetables we had. But as I said, you can put any vegetable you like. I know that in a lot of places in Morocco, they will look at tagine as, oh, you shouldn't be putting cauliflower in it, or you shouldn't be putting asparagus in it. No, vegetable. To me, vegetable is vegetables. Any vegetable you like, you can put it. Feel free, you can put it. So we did that with the vegetable tagine, and we put in it. I put in it smoked paprika, turmeric, cinnamon, smoked paprika half a spoon, turmeric half spoon of cumin, and just a little bit like that of cinnamon, because cinnamon is quite strong, so you don't want the flavor of cinnamon to be overpowering. And I put saffron in anything. All my cooking, all my Moroccan cooking, I put a little bit of saffron. It's healthy, it's good for you. And of course, bit of salt, bit of pepper. But the main thing, I make stock, which is, my stock is always vegetarian. So I'll put stock with hot boiling water, and I'll put a little bit of stock in it with water. Ras al Hanout is where I put it. Ras al Hanout, which is, it's known, Moroccan spices. You find it everywhere in Morrison, in Tesco, in Sainsbury. So I got 2 spoons of Ras al Hanout. You put them in hot water, mix them, and a little bit on the tagine. And that's it. Tagine is done and is there. It's the same thing we did with the chicken tagine. With the chicken tagine, we made the bed of onion and tomato. The chicken was marinated a couple of hours earlier, which is in Ras al Hanout spices, a little bit of olive oil, a juice of 1 lemon, salt, pepper, and I left it for 2 hours. I put garlic in it. I forgot to say garlic. And when I put it in the tagine, I put it on top of the onions and tomato, and I did the same what I did with the vegetarian tagine. So I did the stock. I put the stock and a little bit of hot water with ras hanout, and I covered it on the top of it with a little bit of potato. So I cut potato thick like a wedges, so they will have time to be cooked at the same time as the chicken. That's all I did with that. Harira soup. Harira soup. What we did, we sauteed our onion, garlic, and celery. The main thing is celery in harira soup. The main thing is the celery. So we did the celery, the onion, the garlic. We sauteed them with a little bit of oil, and we added the spices, which is the smoked paprika, the cumin, the turmeric, the cinnamon, and I put a bit of saffron. As I said, I always put saffron, and I put tomato. The base thing is tomato because it's a Mediterranean. Mediterranean, all their food is based on tomato sauce. It's one of the healthiest diet anyway. So yeah, we did that. That will be cooked in any minute now. And what I'll do, I will liquidize it. And after that, I will add to it other ingredients as lentils, chickpeas, and herbs, which is coriander and parsley. And of course, I'm going to put stock in it. So the stock will give it that flavor of herbs and bit salt, bit of yeah, that's the thing. But I always use vegetarian stock. I don't go for chicken or any other things. Even though when I cook chicken, I'll go for vegetarian. So yeah, I'm gonna change that, guys. I think is yeah, I had it. Okay.
Okay, so we've got a question from Gary. If we could just go once again slowly over the spices that went into the tagine, please.
Okay. I will carry on, and because once I'll liquidize the soup and I'll put lentil, that's gonna take time for it to cook. So I'll go back again from the beginning for every single thing. So for the time being, I will have to. Okay, we're back on. I just need to liquidize that one. I'll take this away, and we're on track. Okay. Will you be able to, Mike? Will you be able to plug that for me, please?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, just that one. So, is it? Yeah. So this is the stage where you liquidize your soup, and it's just when the ingredients cooked, but you're gonna need to put lentils. So we don't want to liquidize lentils and chickpeas, and so it has. This is what make it quick, because it's not a way which Morocco cooked in Morocco. So I discovered different way of doing it, which is quicker. That's it. can unplug it. So now we got it. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the stock, the rest of the stock. So if you notice, this one was full. I divided it for three, 2 tagines and the soup. When it comes to lentils, I can't say 100 gram, but if you like your lentil, you can put more. So personally, I love lentil. It's healthy. So I put, and bear in mind, it does help thicken the soup. So we put lentil because lentil take longer to cook. Chickpeas, of course, is from the tin, so it doesn't take that long. So I'm gonna cut my bit of my herbs and put it in the soup. It has to be cut really thin. And another thing, if you don't want to cut it with knife, you can put it in your soup just before you liquidize. So that's it. It stops you from using the knife, so you can use the machine. So I like using the knife. That's the reason I. It's too cold. Okay, that's the parsley and the coriander done. I'm gonna put them in there. This lentil doesn't take that long to cook, even though I don't soak it, but it's quite good. There is a lot of lentil. I prefer to use green lentil. You can use brown lentil. The only lentils you shouldn't use in this soup is the red lentil because it turns into like a sauce. It disappears. You wouldn't see it. Red lentils because they call it split red lentil. So that is done. We'll have a look to the tagines, shall we?
Yeah.
We'll open the tagine and have a look. Sometimes they might need water or something, but I don't think so because the thing was high. So yeah, if you go. Okay. Yeah, they're coming up. That one doesn't need anything. And yeah, that's the chicken. See? So yeah, let's see this one because of the. I might move it there actually. Yeah, I'll bring it, but I have to bring the tagine on its own and bring the other one. Now it's not smoking, so we can. Is it safe there? I'll put it on the floor. Okay. Oh. So I'll tidy a bit before.
We're just going to go over the spices.
Yeah. With the spices in the vegetable tagine, as I said, you make a bed, which is from onions and tomato. The spices, you can put them actually when you make your stock. You can put the spices with them if you want, or you can towards the end put them in a small bowl with a bit of hot water, boiling water, maybe 100 milliliter, and you put 2 spoons of ras hanout in it. 2 spoons in ras hanout, mix it together, and pour it all over the tagine like we did earlier. See? The chicken is the same thing. So you make a bed of onions and tomato. You put your chicken, which is I've got chicken thighs. So if you don't like chicken thighs, or you don't have chicken thighs, you can buy the whole chicken and cut it. As long as it's cut a bit smaller, so it cooks quicker. So that's the thing. And of course, as I said, you do your stock, or you mix in your stock. You mix ras hanout in it and pour it all over there. So as you've seen now, soup is boiling nicely. The only thing we need to be cooked here is the lentils, which is not far away. Once lentil. Now we're gonna leave all this cooking, and we're gonna move to filo pastry with almonds. So I need a new chopping board. I'll take those away.
So do you think it would be interesting to pause for a second and let people show the camera?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this until they give me go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm miles away. Yeah, we're gonna stop for a few minutes, so we can allow people to catch up, or show us at the same time if they're doing any.
Has anybody done the tagine and want to show it? Sarah, I know you're a super cook.
Yeah, I didn't hear from Sarah.
Do you want to hold your dish?
I put it on mute mode because I wanted to listen to you.
Okay.
I'm just making harira today because I never made it before.
Okay.
I can show you.
So, yeah, show us.
Because I make tagine a lot, but I really like harira.
Okay. What stage you are now?
Oh, I don't know how to make. Hang on. Okay, it's in here, and I just put in lentils and chopped herbs.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So you liquidized the celery, onion, tomato, and all that.
Yeah, I liquidized it. I added lots of herbs and lots of garlic. And also I added lamb stock instead of vegetable stock because
it doesn't matter. It's just in my case, because I think I'm really always worried about allergies and when people are vegetarian and all that. So I prefer to go to play
it's a good baseline. Yeah. Can I ask a question, Mohammed?
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes when I've had harira, it has little pieces of lamb.
Yeah, you can.
So
well, normally the Moroccans like their harira with bit of meat.
If I was going to do it, when
Yeah.
would I put in the lamb, and which type of lamb should I use?
You can put it now. Diced lamb. You know, you ask for diced lamb. It could be any from any
make it
shoulder.
small?
Yeah, small, tiny, so it
Korea.
can cook. And if you put it the time you put your lentil, there is no way it's not going to be cooked. So lentil takes minimum 20 to 25 minutes, so the lamb will be cooked.
Okay.
I personally prefer chicken liver.
Chicken
In
liver.
Harira. Yeah, in Harira.
Jim will be happy. He likes chicken liver.
Oh,
We'll
chicken
try that
liver
one.
is amazing. Cut it
Really
and throw
tasty.
it last 10 minutes, you know? Yeah.
Okay, good tip. Yeah,
Chicken liver's good. Yeah.
Thank you. That's a great idea. We'll try that one and let you know how we get on.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm really enjoying the class. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Could you please recap on the spices that went into the soup?
The spices went in the soup. I put half spoon of turmeric, half spoon of smoked paprika, half teaspoon of cumin, and just a little bit of cinnamon, because cinnamon can take over. So you don't want to just taste one flavor and not the others. And of course, I do put, as I said, you do not have to, but I do like my saffron. I put it in nearly everything. Every Moroccan food, I put saffron in it. Some people wouldn't agree with me, but I do. It's so healthy, this stuff, really good. And of course, you put stock as well. I did put stock in the soup. So salt, pepper, one thing, little bit of salt and black pepper.
Does anybody else want to show us the tagine or the harira?
Oh, Bob's going to show us a clay pot that he's tried.
Wow.
Ooh, that's nice. Is it empty then?
It's empty. This is as close as I could find. It's a clay pot that my brother and I bought for Mother's Day for my mother 65 years ago.
Wow.
When my mother's passed, and I inherited the pot, and I just started cooking with it recently.
Not today. It doesn't have a tagine in it today.
Unfortunately,
as I said, Lucy,
Yeah.
I don't know if you read something I put. I think this yesterday. I said you do not. If you don't have tagine, you still can cook tagine in heavy pots. You know, like the one we use for cooking slow cooking thing.
Yeah. No, that's good.
That's what we're using. I'll just show you. Oh, that's wrong. I just got. How do you flip your camera on there? Oh. I can't actually flip the camera. I'll have to turn it around like this.
We can see, Gary.
Can you see? There we go.
Hey.
oh,
Fantastic.
It's taking its time. Taking its time. Here's the soup.
That's amazing.
And here's my co-chef.
Can I see it? Can I see it?
Can we go back, Gary? Because Mo wasn't in the room when you showed it.
Wow.
There's the soup.
That's the harira, authentic.
Fantastic. Do you want to show
That's
us?
the harira. And the tagine is in this big pot here.
Wow.
Lovely cast iron pot.
Yeah. Time, but it's coming. We're chuffed. And as I was saying, this is my co-chef. This is Karen.
Hello.
We've been cooking together.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. Hi, Karen. Anybody else like to show us anything?
Loving this, by the way. Loving it.
I'd just like to point out that Jim looks like he's got an angel's halo around his head on Sarah Corbett's. Doesn't he look?
He does that on purpose to impress the girls.
Positively angelic, Jim.
Always,
You
always.
know it.
Okay, we
Well,
can show
and you sit
ours,
on it.
but Lucy, we can show ours, but we are not going to cook it till tonight because it's 11 o'clock in the morning now. We're
Wow.
having lunch.
Yeah, let's see it anyway.
But can you push it down or lift it up?
That looks brilliant.
Ooh, that looks very good. That's a huge tagine.
Of course, Gary doesn't do anything but halves, so we'll be eating it for a while. He's very excited to be able to use it.
We've had a great time as well.
Good.
Even if we had to get out of bed early.
Did you get that tagine in Morocco or from TJ Maxx?
I bought it about 20 years ago at a cook store in Vancouver.
Ah,
Mhm.
that's
I
good.
thought it looked beautiful.
Looks very stylish.
Yeah.
Karen, as a ceramicist, she's just gone like, oh, I think I could make one of those. So we might have a new one of those in the house soon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So can we show our tagine as well?
Yeah.
You've been showing off their tagine, so
Great.
yeah. That's it's not far away.
It's good.
So we're gonna get back to the soup. Now we think lentil is nearly there. So we're gonna put the chickpeas. I'll put the it's there. Chickpeas. And we normally they put a little bit of spaghetti, broken spaghetti. So I always prefer to put rice. The reason why I like it to be gluten free. So I put rice, but feel free. You can put a little bit of broken spaghetti or bit of pasta. So we're coming towards the end of this. We leave it to cook. So and if you notice, once you put lentil on the rice, it does thicken. That's where you have to watch it. If it's too thick, you'll add water. So we're gonna need some hot water just in case we need it for that. And we'll get back and we'll start the pudding. Yeah.
So the question was, is there any particular kind of pasta they use in Morocco? You can put vermicelli, you can put spaghetti, which is you break it small, or you can put one kind of pasta, which is half rice, half pasta. I'll bring it so you can see it.
Free to Mark if you've been in contact with Stuart.
Okay. I think I'm on that.
No, I couldn't find it. It's just like any small tiny pasta or spaghetti. You break it small and you put it in. But I always put rice because that way it's safe. So you don't have somebody who's gluten free, who's celiac eating it. So this way, a celiac can eat it. So for the filo pastry one, we'll have the filo pastry, but we have a ground almond. 250 gram can do up to 4 people. So I've got more than that because there is more than 4 people. So all I do to this, I'll add one egg in it. I'll add 2 tablespoons of what I put it, rose water or rose flavor water. And small spoon of vanilla. I find this kind of vanilla is really good, Madagascar. Yeah. So, so I'll drop a small spoon of that. Some sugar. So what we're gonna do, we put less sugar than what the Moroccans put, because normally the Moroccans use a lot of sugar. So we're gonna half it. We're gonna put like just 1.5 tablespoon. And we're gonna have juice of orange and juice of lemon. And of course, a bit of cinnamon, just a bit, to give it a flavor. We'll mix it together, and we're gonna fill the filo pastry with it. You can use your hands. 1.5 spoons, but table. And I used 1 egg, and I used a little bit of cinnamon, and I used a juice of 1 lemon, juice of 1 orange, and I used the vanilla and the rose water. So I'll get a paste here. See? Yeah. Paste. Okay. I might have to do it. Yeah. The thing with it, the pastry and that, if you open them, they do actually dry. So you have to be a little bit quicker in making it. Otherwise, your pastry, and as you see here, I'm very cold. I'm freezing. So this is the filo pastry. This can give us up to 20 portions, I think, but I'm gonna use only what I need. But you can make this one in advance, and so what I'll do, take the pastry out. This is in Morocco, they call it warha. So we call it here filo pastry. And in Morocco, you can buy it from any shop, anywhere. Women make it themselves and sell it in the streets. So I'm gonna need only 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll keep only 3, and I'll put the rest back in the fridge. So my butter. So this is what I'm gonna do. We have to butter it so it can stick together. And when you butter it, it does cook and stay flaky. So it's just butter, normal butter. Yeah, just normal. Yeah, melted butter. I'll put it in the microwave to melt it. Use a pastry brush. Turn the hole down. I've got a feeling it's not. Okay. Another one. Of course, between them, always butter. And another one, the third one. I prefer to do 3, so everything done in 3 is better. Okay, that paste which we've done earlier, I'm gonna fill up the pastry with. Okay, and I'll close it. And of course, we'll brush it with butter. Again. That's it. And we'll put it in here. Oh, that's how it should come, like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna brush it again with butter and put flaked almond on the top. You don't have to, you can put sesame seed or you can just leave it like that. And it's gonna go in the oven for 20 minutes, 180 degrees. So here we go. Flaked almond. That's it, done. That's it. I'm gonna put it in the oven. So we did all this starter, 2 main courses, and that one in less than an hour. If this is cooked in 20-25 minutes, the soup is done. I'm gonna finish it now, and I'll show you how to finish it. It's gonna
Tell us the temperature for the oven, mate.
180 degree, 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Soup. So as you've seen, it's getting thicker than what I needed. So all I did, add to it water. So it's take it by eye. So this is the soup. It's finished. But what I'm gonna, to finish it completely, I'm gonna put 2 eggs in it. Those 2 eggs actually came from, they're free range eggs. They came from Western. Yeah. Yeah, you always skin the eggs. I used to work with an Irish chef who used to say to me, it's a bad luck whisking with the knife. That's it. And just before we turn the thing off, we'll taste it for salt and pepper. That's it. Personally, I think it doesn't need anything. That's it, done. I'll turn the thing off. And the soup is done. That is off. So you wanna try the soup?
I'd love to try the soup. Can we go back to the filling?
Yeah.
In the pastry.
Yeah, I had. Yeah, as I said to them, 250 grams of ground almond,
Yeah.
1 egg, 1 spoon and a half sugar, 1 orange juice, 1 lemon juice, bit of cinnamon, vanilla, small spoon of vanilla. Mix it all together, and you'll have a paste. Rose water. Rose water. So and that's it. And you do the I need to check the chicken. Run out, yeah.
So we have a question.
Yeah.
So
Fire. Go ahead.
So the question is, our son is vegan. Is the egg primarily for
No,
vegan or
no.
for flavor?
No. Egg. To me, egg give it that that last touch, which it looks nice, you know, for the decoration. But you don't have to put eggs in it. So if he's vegan, don't put eggs in it. Just serve it like that without eggs.
Have you tried any of the vegan egg products? Like,
Yeah, there is a lot of products out there, but to be honest with you, if I'm cooking it for somebody vegan, I'll leave the eggs out. I don't use eggs. Even when I do the pastry, I don't use. I can not use the eggs.
what would you use?
All you have to do is you get the liquid from adding a little bit from the other ingredients. You might end up doing 1 lime, 1 lemon, 2 oranges.
Okay. What would you substitute for the butter? Could you use a lot?
There is vegan butter. There's no excuse for that. There is vegan butter actually, so which is out there. I'm gonna bring that here.
Okay.
So this one is finished. I'll just put it here. I'll recycle it. I'll put some stuff away, and I'll come back to put that in there. I'll just go inside to get warm, mate.
Somebody's got lemon left over. Did we miss out lemon for something?
They got lemon left over?
Yeah.
Well, lemon towards the end, he can cut it and put it with the chicken tagine.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the.
Was it the soup? Was the lemon?
It could be in the soup, yeah. You can put lemon in the soup at the end. Yeah. Because normally they have lemon on the side. When you give somebody the soup, you have lemon on the side. So when they have dates, they squeeze lemon and have on the soup. Oh. Yes. Sorry.
You're going to make the soup more spicy.
I would use chili. I would, well, but if I'm using chili, I'll use the chili the time I put the celery and the onions and all that, and I'll use chili like this. You know, it depends how long, how hot do you want it. So medium to 3 chilies very hot, 1 chili is just mild. So
a question from the chat: does the rice need to be soft before I add the egg to the soup?
Normally the rice takes 10 minutes to be what we call cooked, but bear in mind the rice can cook even when you turn it off, just on the heat. Is you know.
So could you remind us what to do with the egg? Do you whisk it before, or do you just put it in?
No, you whisk it before, as I did. If you don't whisk it, you're gonna end up with, as soon as it hits the soup, it will go. You'll have the white on its own and the yellow on its own. So if you don't whisk it, it's not. Yeah. So when you do scrambled eggs, it's the same thing. You have to whisk it, otherwise you can't just throw eggs like that. And okay. So I'm gonna put some olives in the chicken because the chicken is nearly cooked. So
should I bring the camera over to the?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. You go to the chicken now. We're going over to the chicken. Actually, I'm gonna bring it here in a minute. Oh, yeah, then nearly done. See.
Smells amazing.
You see, if I touch the potato, is cooked nearly. So okay.
Okay. When did I put the chickpeas in?
Chickpeas is already cooked because it's tinned. So you can put it last 10 minutes, last 5 minutes. All you're doing with the chicken is you warming it up because it's cooked. If you had to use fresh chickpeas, say for a moment, I was thinking. So if you have to put fresh chickpeas, you have to soak it for at least a day or two overnight, and you cook it for over an hour. So I prefer to use which is in Morocco, the get fresh chickpeas. They soak it. They take the skin off it. They even take the skin off it. They have time to take. To me, I look at the skin is a healthy thing. Anything with the skin is a healthy thing. It's a whole meal. The days when we used to eat when it was in fashion, people eating wheat without without the skin, we end up having a lot of diseases. So now we eat rice, brown rice, better than white rice. The reason why, because it's whole meal and it's healthy. So bit of fiber. That's it. I'm gonna put some soup on a bowl, so for people to see how it comes.
Great.
Okay, and I'm serving them in Moroccan dishes. So I think this is the quickest way ever. I remember my mom, when she saw me making the soup, she thought, "What are you doing?" And when she tasted it, the result was the same. So and I cooked it in less than an hour. So here you are.
We had a question
Mike?
about the olives. Any particular kind of olive?
Any olive will do. Any olive will do. Normally the Moroccans put olive with the thing inside them, so that one doesn't have it. But any olive is olive. It doesn't matter.
I'm coming over here for the tasting.
Okay. You'll have that. Get yourself a spoon from there.
That's amazing. That transports.
So is it?
That transports me to Marrakesh. 100%.
Is it better than the one you had in Jamal? No, we should have a place in Jamal now like this. Yeah. So
We're enjoying ours. It's delicious.
good. Nice to have.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
So, as I said to you before, if you remember the tagine, I said to you the vegetables does release water. Look how much sauce in there. And of course, it's good because you're gonna eat it with bread. So you soak bread there. And so I'm gonna need, if you give me space, I will bring the chicken here. No, you're fine, mate. Normally, you should eat it with the dates. But because the weather is bad, so I didn't go to the palm trees to get dates. There we go. Guys, this is going to be the warmest place now. Is this side. There we go. That's the chicken. You will need a little bit of herbs to go on top of it because it's nearly done. So I'm gonna cut a little bit of parsley and a little bit of coriander to give flavor. You can put anything. You feel free to put rosemary. Rosemary as well. You cut it and put it whatever herb you like. silence. What's going on? See, the best thing in the food, when the room is silent, you know the food is doing wonders. I'm gonna check the pudding now, because I don't want it to burn. Ready, guys? There we go. It's cooked in no time. So I'll put it somewhere to cool down and we'll cut it. Show you what I'm gonna put it. No, I'll put it there. That's it. It will cook down as long as I don't hit it. So yeah. And I'll tidy a bit so I can cut it. Put that there. No, all has to go in. Sorry? No, it's okay. I just cleared where I'm. So as we were saying, Mike, Moroccan food is quite easy to cook. It has imagination. It has a lot of ingredients and spices in it. But once you put it together, you can go and do what you want. This kind of food is based on people who used to have to work in the field. So what they do, they put things and things look after itself, and they go to the field, come back and eat. You know, so. Okay, everything cooked.
So somebody saying it reminds me of the builders on the building site in Morocco.
Yeah, that's what they do. I've seen actually a truck, people who go truck and they drive long distance. They have stuff with them, which is they have a small cooker and all that, and they stop somewhere and sit on the shade of the truck. If it's hot, honestly, I saw them. They sit on the shade of the truck and they cook and they eat, and it's amazing. It's not everywhere have sandwiches and takeaway and Pizza Hut and McDonald's. Yeah, sometimes you can drive in Morocco for a long distance before you find the restaurant, or you find the So yeah. Plus, one thing I'm really proud of is Moroccan food stayed nearly the same as it was before the Arab came from the Middle East. So the Arab came on just after the 7th century from the Middle East by the name of Islam. So making every country, conquering countries and making them Muslim. So these dishes you've seen is the dishes the native Moroccan cooked. the native Moroccan, we call them, you know, Berber, the Amazigh, which is this kind of food has nothing to do with the Arabs. It's not, no, to me, is not, there is not a single thing about it Arab. So when you go to the Middle East, you don't find this kind of food. But virtually, I've seen their food is not something which is yeah. Would you like more?
I would love some more. Yeah.
You want some more? But there is a lot of food. Yeah. Okay, you have that one. And I made the surprise I made, which is couscous after this. So none of you gonna go until you finish it. Mike?
Excuse me, I'm typing.
Phil, you okay? All right.
I know, I'm okay. Well, I'm cold. Shall we go?
I'll move that a little bit. Any questions?
Yeah, we in our big iron pan.
There aren't any more questions. Should we just unmute and chat for a minute before we say thanks and good night to both?
Yeah, I was about to ask though, in our big iron pan, we have a lot of juice.
Yeah, I can hear.
Is that fine, or would that spoil it? And you know,
no, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. The juice you have in the tagine or
in the tagine, yeah, because we're not using a clay pot, we're using an iron pot, so it's
that is natural with the vegetables. The vegetables always release a bit of water, but you can eat what you can, and it won't destroy the taste.
Yeah, because with the tagine you have there, I guess the steam is coming out through the top, and it's reducing. I might just
that's the thing, yeah. But it's not a problem. You know, it's.
No.
Take some.
Are you having soup for breakfast, Karen, tonight?
We do have it for breakfast in a wedding in Morocco. If you go to a wedding in the morning, they give you soup, harina. We're gonna need a bit of light in here. Yeah, I'll get light.
So in answer to Colin's question, the soup is amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's a great smell as well, great texture.
Put it in here.
As I put in the message, you know, many years ago when I was a teenager, my sister had a boyfriend from Libya, and he used to cook meals for us, and suddenly the kitchen was filled with an aroma that just took me back like 45 years to that moment. I mean, that was quite special.
Yeah. It's amazing. They never used all the spices. If you know the history of Silk Road and how the spices came all the way from India through the Middle East, and you know, some places in the Middle East which is actually made Turkish food the way it is now, because under the Ottoman Empire, they virtually took most of what we used to call Sham at that time, Syria, Jordan, and Palestine. They took all that food back to Turkey, and hummus and is not Greek, is not Turkish, is Middle East. So yeah, those countries have their own. And as I said, North Africa has the different way of cooking, different way of dealing with spices, and especially Morocco didn't have the influence of the Turk, because the Turk, even though they were Ottoman, and it was the Ottoman Empire at that time, they couldn't invade Morocco, because Morocco was an empire itself, was stretched from Tangier to Senegal River. So that's how it was. So yeah.
But you know, a dish in Greece, there's a soup that has egg and lemon topping in Greek cuisine.
I heard of it. I can't remember the name, but yeah. Is that light enough, or shall I get on?
Are we coming towards?
Yeah. The only thing is, I need to cut this so people can see how it is. Normally, this you can eat it like that, or you can eat it with Greek, what we call Greek yogurt. You know, the set yogurt, natural set yogurt. Just mix a little bit of vanilla with it, or just have it just like that. So I'm gonna cut this one. Let me bring serrated knife.
The question is, mate, why are you not on TV?
I wish. I wish. That is nice. I don't think the BBC. I worked for the BBC, but they could have had me. One time, I remember, while I was still working in the BBC, they had the program of Moroccan food, and they know that there is a Moroccan guy there, but they went and got somebody else. This is how. This is it. This is the filo pastry I've done. It's fine. So you can eat it like that, or you can have it with some natural yogurt, thick yogurt. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. You're welcome. You can have that one. Yeah. Well, we mix everything. Yeah. Well, this kind of things is really actually. So normally, what we do, I'll get a plate, and you'll help yourself. You're straight from here. So.
Well, you need it from the tagine, really.
Yeah. Or you can eat it from the tagine. So with the law of distancing, so it's better to use. Yeah.
Just tell me we're doing a veggie tagine.
Mohammed,
Yes.
how long did you cook the vegetable tagine for?
It was less than an hour, was it? You recall? Yeah. It will be cooked in 40 minutes.
40, okay.
40.
And then chicken?
It depends. Chicken takes longer, takes nearly an hour. So
Oh.
we are on the last. I just checked the chicken, and the potato is just nearly there. So I think another 5 minutes, and the chicken will be cooked. But the tagine has been cooked a long time. I just left it on the charcoal to stay hot.
Mhm, okay.
Okay, thank you.
And the harira as well. It didn't take that long. So. Ooh. Oh, plates actually.
Would anyone else like to show us their dishes? Oh, Sarah, can you unmute so we can see it?
Hi, we're eating it. We couldn't wait.
Here we go.
And Jim
That's not working.
wearing a tailcoat for some strange reason.
Mm.
Lovely. Thank you.
You can smell that from here, Sarah.
It's unmuted.
Brilliant. Can you just show it again so Mo can see it?
Looks great.
Oh,
Proper.
see Sarah see?
Yeah, for me. Ah,
Benina Bezef, shukran.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Hopefully the weather will be nice so we can get together sometimes.
I already made that suggestion that you come and have dinner with us in Norfolk.
Yeah, one day we just lost somebody in Norfolk. So
I'm so sorry. Our house is your house whenever you need it, though.
Thank you.
La shukran ala wajhi.
Are you doing better than Mike?
Thank you for helping us make our dinner.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Always is a pleasure.
Tastes really good. Next time, chicken livers too.
Yeah.
Lucy,
Yeah.
do you recognise the picture behind Jim?
Oh yes, I do. I do. I've coveted one of those prints for years.
Do you remember our wild night dancing there?
I do. I do.
Great, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. It's such a shame it closed down.
Yeah. All things change. We just need a new space to dance.
Yeah, it was a great nightclub in Gilis in Morocco. Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me. Just turn that off.
What nice club that one?
That was
Jalaba.
Ah. Phil. Sorry.
Mike, is that the nightclub you took us to?
Mike doesn't go to nightclubs,
Oh,
does
no, I'm sure whatever happened then, I would have to deny it.
Especially because I wasn't there on that trip.
That's because Lucy was there with me. Mike wasn't there that night either. It's amazing what you can find in Bab el Khamis.
So, Kathy and Mike, have you done a tagine? Have you done a tagine?
Yeah, but we've eaten most of it. But I can send you a photo, Lucy.
Photo of the leftovers, or
No, a photo before we ate.
right, okay.
We just ate ours, and it was absolutely gorgeous.
That's good.
Thank you. I would show you it, but it's gone.
Yeah. We did ours on the stove. Is it better on the stove or in the oven, do you think?
Ours was on.
Both the same. You'll get the same results. Both of them.
How many of you here tonight are storytellers?
Yeah.
Okay, are you coming to Marrakesh in February?
You bet.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have a storytellers outing with me to make tangia. So we get a pot, which we'll steal from Mike, or borrow, or steal. And then we're going to walk around the butchers, the olive oil seller, the olive market and the spice market, and each person throws something into the pot for us. And then we seal the top with a piece of paper, and we take it to the hammam where they heat the water for the hammam, and we give it to them. And then we go and find a cocktail bar for maybe 4 hours, 6 hours. And then we crawl back to the hammam, and we
You might
collect.
not remember. You might not remember which hammam.
I always use the same one. It's okay. I have autopilot. And we pick up. We pick
I
up
was
the
going to
pot.
say, can there be a pot that has vegetarian one in it as well? Because I actually don't eat meat.
Yeah, we can do that. We can go everywhere.
That's great.
And they simmer it in the ashes from the hammam fire, and you pick it up ready for your dinner. It's like a ready meal of Morocco.
It sounds like an afternoon out.
It's really good.
I think Bob and his partner will go. Bob's had to leave, but he's a storyteller who's definitely going to Marrakesh. So I think
Looking forward to it.
They will go as well on your Tangier crawl.
So looking forward to it. I'm coming over on the train. I think I'm going to get the train across France and Spain and come down.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounded like an opportunity for an adventure.
Yeah, I've driven that one. I've never trained it.
Trains look nice.
Yeah, they are.
European trains are much nicer than ours.
Most expensive train journey in the whole trip is from Cornwall to London.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
There's a boat as well now that leaves, I think, Southampton straight to Morocco.
Cool.
Yeah, this still didn't start yet.
That involves being on the sea, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm hoping if it starts this summer, I will instead of driving through France and Spain, I can go with them. Well, this is if no surprises with the COVID happened by that time.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to meeting everybody out there.
Anything's better than driving through the greasy lands before Burgos when everybody slides off the road and crashes off the mountain, eh, Mohammed?
Yeah.
So, are there any more questions before we thank Mo and say good night and go off to eat what's left of our supper?
I've got a question of Abdu and Mohammed. I'm just wondering if they know of any variations that they use within their family's cooking, or in their village, or whatever. If there's anything that they would do as a variation on these dishes.
I'm sure there is a lot of variation. Each one does it. Don't forget, I'm a chef, so chefs always do things a little bit different and find a quicker way.
So Abdu?
I mean, from what the chef Mohammed did, it's not a big difference. I mean, of course, he knows everything and he's trying to make it more better. So I would say there's no big difference, you know. With the eggs that he put in the soup, we do that as well to make it like, you know, you see this white egg thing on the dish. It looks really good, you know. It gives a good touch, as he said. But apart of that, everything is the same, you know. Well done. Very good job, boy.
Cheers. Thank you.
And
Thanks, mate.
Mohammed, any differences?
Yeah, it is. Morocco is quite a big country, which is the tribe. You know, we have few tribes speak different language than others. There is accents, there is ways of cooking. Harira, tagine, couscous. People cooked during the days when they used to cook. They used to cook what they have in land, and some land doesn't give what other land give. You know, you go to the north of Morocco, it provides different way of agriculture. You go to south of Morocco, is a bit dry, so there is not all the sort of vegetables and fruit. So the Moroccans, certain time, why there is a lot of dishes in Morocco are based on fruit, dried fruit, you know, lamb with prune or with the apricots or things like that. They used to use that because that's all they had during a certain time when. And I remember when I was growing up, we didn't have aubergine in May or April. We didn't have fennel in summer. We didn't have turnip in summer. So you don't put it in the couscous when you do couscous in summer. So you use what you have in that season. And that's the reason why it was each region of Morocco did things a little bit different. But the taste always stayed the same. So, yeah. And another thing, Moroccan food is based mainly on vegetarianism because until recently that everybody eats meat maybe every day, and it's still a lot of families eat it maybe once a week. We know that through the history, even in England, when the peasants had a good diet, better than the kings and the queens. So they were healthier, slimmer, while the rich had the blood pressure, was fat. Why is the way is it proved that poor people diet is even better?
Look, Kathy, can you unmute so we can see your dessert? It looks amazing.
Ooh, that does look great.
Yeah, it looks a bit pasty in the picture, but it's actually not brown, but it's just the light in here.
Whoa!
What's that? Brilliant. Look good.
I thought I'd show it to you before we eat it.
Keep that away from Michael.
Yeah, I know. It's all yours,
You're a
Kathy.
great teacher, Mo. This is delicious soup, just like being in Morocco. Thank you for teaching us the secrets.
You're welcome. Next time, bring a bottle and come along.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Gary's got one there, have you?
Yeah. That's
Plates.
I'm just gonna. So I think it's time to wave goodbye. Say thanks to Mo, and
Brilliant, Gary.
good night, everybody.
That looks great, Gary.
It was delicious. There's a big chunk missing out the middle.
Vanina.
Nina
Okay,
بزاف
right.
يعطيك الصحة ستي بارك الله عليك.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so
Good
much.
to have you. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo.
We'll do this from time to time. So
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah.
I'll be there.
Next time I'll get Mike to cook.
No, please no, please no.
Always ready to try.
Meshwi.
Oh, voila.
Meshwi, yeah, that's the one.
Meshwi, yeah. We'll do the meshwi. Yeah.
Okay.
Abdul Tayyib.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. وش
Ciao.
مبروك.
Thank you,
Good night,
Mohammed.
everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks
One
very
ciao.
much for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Bye,
See you
guys.
soon. Hopefully, we'll see you in summer.
Enjoy your meal, guys. هاو
ماشي بيان. تبارك الله عليك. شكرا.
راح كسي محمد. سلمي على الوليدات.
يسلم عليك خير. يسلم عليك خير.
الله يهديك.
فينا
رمضان
الوليدات
مبارك.
كبروا.
بارك الله عليك
الوليدات
السي محمد.
كبروا.
ايوه خا يسلم عليك.
يسلم عليك خير.
الله يهديك السي محمد. بارك الله عليك.
Mate, that was
Ciao.
absolutely sensational.
That was crack. That was good.
That was,
You stopped it?
good. Yeah.
French sensationnel.
Mm,
Brilliant.
good.
Brilliant. Anyway, he's cooking tomorrow. You ate it, yeah? You're a chef.
What is cooking tomorrow? He didn't tell me. He kept it quiet.
Going to come to the Leicester game tomorrow? I don't know.
You going to Leicester?
No,
Oh, no.
Just at the West End.
Is the bar open?
Yeah.